What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this, the Nevers Breakdown, Recap, Review, and Ending Explained. Oh boy, was this a long watch, with almost every single story progressing, but not far enough for my liking. As much as I love the show, I do feel it spins far too many plates, with time being spent on people like Swan's story, which in my opinion feels a bit superfluous, to be honest, to the rest of the story, and far too much time spent with these government council people. Now, there will be spoilers in this video, so please do be warned, and drop a like if you enjoyed the episode, and subscribe with notifications on to never miss a video. The whole episode is centered around the very public execution of Melody having been caught by Mundy. It is proposed to be a public execution, very, very rare in this time period, as public executions were outlawed in the UK in 1868. But the gravity of her situation and crimes would allow the judge to let the public see to bring weight to this judgment. Now, the government lackeys all discuss this and are clearly divided on it, which I, to be honest, was very surprised about. We learned that they were 100% to blame for Mary's murder, having not wanted to spread her song and uplift the touched, and Masson does remind them that, well, if the song was allowed to progress longer, there'd be a lot more touched at the orphanage. Masson really does hate the touched, as well, late in the episode he says how it upsets the natural order that an uneducated Irish girl can make things that men of industry cannot. Wow, very fragile masculinity there. But they are worried about the optics of what is going to happen with the public execution. However, we also learn they are registering each person who is touched, a very, very dark path to go down on indeed. We also learn that a royal girl has been shipped off to another country because she is, in quotes, ill, but it's obvious that she is touched, having meaning that this touched malady has been spread to the royal family. Now, the security is being handled by the army, and Masson even goes to the Beggar King to get some support later in the episode because he wants chaos as well. He wants the public to really, really hate these touched. However, aside from the looming execution, we have True trying to find the gallanthy, which is the thing the song told her to look out for, and they work out where it is using X-ray. Now, Penance surmises that the best time to do this to drill would be during the execution, as almost the entire city would be focusing on that. However, the problem with this episode is that there is a clear divide, kind of like the middle to the latter third of the episode, where True wants to go off with their plan, but Penance feels compelled to save Melody. I feel that this should have happened a lot sooner, almost at the start-ish of the episode, and I found it so weird that it wasn't brought up earlier, as while Melody is a murderer, she is essentially having such a public spectacle and execution as she is touched. Now, we got a schism in the orphanage later, leading Penance to take her own touched red team to go and save Melody. Now, while we didn't see the touched blue team, what they did, we did see the blue orb itself, as we see Lavinia visit the scientist at the excavation, and we actually see the blue orb pulsating, and while not an egg and more of a chrysalis, it's clearly ready to pop, and conveniently it's the same day as the execution. While True may find it, or the gallantry, or whatever she's looking for, whatever is going on with her storyline next episode, it's clear that Lavinia has an effect on this, as she has headaches, and her motive here is explained. She means to cure the touched. While Masson wants to simply get rid of them, as he hates them, Lavinia wants to cure them, as she clearly feels sympathy for their plight, as we saw later when she meets Augie, who lies about going to Brighton and is really helping with the dig. She has headaches and is acting out against the public, who are excited about the execution. I think she does know about her brother's touched powers, as he leaves clues. He leaves the clue of a picture that he's drawn of Penance there and some birds. More would come out of that next week, but it's clear that Lavinia is over her head. Now, throughout the city, the execution is being ramped up, and we meet the Beggar King making shonky souvenirs for the execution, as Masson wants him to create chaos around the execution to ensure that the public are firmly against the touched, and the Beggar King confirms he wasn't the one who sent Oderly to kill, but it was Masson tricking him. Even Mundy is trying to keep the peace, and even meets Swan, who has charges against one of his touched. But Effie returns, and, well, she is a clear favourite, going by my comments, as many of you did spot that it was actually the actress who plays Melody. Very, very clever from me there. She is imploring everyone to get what she wants and is investigating the body that Mundy found a while back. More on that in a second. However, this is the coolest twist as we learn later that the execution has the wrong person. The one person who was actually captured was Melody's follower who wants to be touched and swapped places. Effie is Melody, as she had killed the real one and has swapped places with her, playing a smart game. She's whipped the public into a frenzy by getting an interview with Melody, which is to get as many public figures and citizens to go. It was all a trick so she can kill everyone who came to watch. The Colonel here was hilarious, and I'm really sad to see him go, as the execution starts, and Penance, in her rift with True, has gone to try and save Melody, as a plan was to electrocute everyone. Nimble is easily my favourite touched here, with her powers and swagger being so very, very cool, except they fail as a fake Melody is killed by herself, sort of, and the real one is out there. Now the question remains, what will Melody do next? There's chaos on the streets. Will she be calmer once the blue orb is revealed, as it might actually cause her to subdue her nature in somewhat? And we also have the lever that is pushed during the escape, as it's gone wrong, and it looks like they're going to be in some hot water, the touch that is, as there were nooses left for them as well, so it's not looking good. And the question remains, what's next? There are many, many theories here that Amalia True is actually dead, or she died, and then her body was taken over by a person on that ship that we saw fly over. I really like that idea, and it'd be interesting to see if this blue orb is the key to this. Maybe the ship did crash in the end, or the orb contains a gestation orb for the aliens who came on the ship. So let me know what you think down in the comments. What are your theories coming up? I believe that this is just the penultimate episode of this part. We have the next half of the season, which hasn't been filmed yet, and will be ran not by Joss Whedon, but by someone else. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I did enjoy the episode. I just find that there's way too many stories going on at once, and while I can keep track of them, I would prefer a bit of a more streamlined show, to say the least. But that's it for this video, so please drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.